For 2 class periods, I had to hold my tongue and wait till my professor brought up the humanitarian impacts of nuclear weapons testing on communities and other people impacted by it. Because we were talking about the introduction of the nuclear age and the Cold War. Not once did he bother to mention anything. In one sentence, he mentioned the US testing in the Marshall Islands, but didn't go deep or literally just said that. And the whole time, my palms are sweaty because I feel called to speak. And so by the second day, when he's transitioning into the fall of the Soviet Union at the end of the Cold War, I finally raise my hand and say, hello. You said you would, and the thing is that I personally went up to him after class the first time, or not even, the week before. I went up to him and said, can you please mention it? Because there's multiple classes here at Miss where we talk about nuclear issues and stuff, nuclear topics, and professors still failed to mention the effects of nuclear weapons testing on Indigenous people, on communities. And by the time I said my commentary, I felt so weak, so alone, so vulnerable, I guess. I don't know. But I had to step out the classroom and shed a tear because I just felt so sad, so helpless. Because how can we strive for nuclear justice when educators don't even bring up this simple topic? When my fellow colleagues and classmates aren't being introduced to essentially nuclear terrorism, but it's labeled in the way where it's for national security. And when I stepped out, I essentially thought I shouldn't be the one, it shouldn't be my responsibility to bring this up and raise my hand. But then I thought, well, what if I meant to? History without discomfort is propaganda. And as much as the faculty here is pro-nuclear, they fail to communicate the negative impacts of nuclear on communities. And it's important to highlight that these communities have not been compensated and have not been given justice. You have the United States, who intentionally did not study the after effects. And it's not just the United States, it's France, it's Russia. These colonial powers did research in their native language and did not even bother to translate it into the people they affected. Now, the US documents, declassified documents, some were able to be translated into the Marshallese language. But what about all the other colonial powers? If nuclear justice has the power to start in the classroom, we have to talk about it. And it's something that needs to be given an adequate amount of time. It's not just something you can mention for a minute or two and then go on about your lecture. And I think it's really important that we hold these educators accountable, whether they're pro-nuclear or anti-nuclear, and give an unbiased lecture. I say this because one of my professors who worked at the Nevada test site, aka the test site that tested over 900 nuclear weapons, had the audacity to say in front of a classroom that the downwinders from the site did not get cancer from nuclear weapons testing because him and his colleagues didn't get cancer. What? This guy's conscience is too clean, if you ask me. You have this professional, this experienced professional, sit here in front of a classroom of graduate students and diplomats and say a statement like that. You're essentially denying the nuclear justice that we are currently fighting for. And that is why faculty in programs like this need to be held accountable. Hold nuclear terrorist states accountable. It's 2025, about to be 2026, and we are not safer from nuclear weapons as we were from when they first were created.